you can actually cascade clamper and clipper circuits. All right, so let me just show you an example of cascading very shortly. Suppose I have a signal like this and I draw a clamper first. Okay, I draw a clamper, yeah, okay, and then I draw a clipper. Oops, I need to put a voltage source here. Okay, now I put a clipper. Right, and I input the previous signal that I have been using in all the exercises. Okay, I input this signal. I need to put some values. Well, let me just put here, let's see, I can put here 5 volt, 5 volt, and I can put, I guess, 2 volt. Okay, so what will happen if I input this signal to this circuit? Okay, so we will just do this step by step. Okay, first the clamping will happen, then the clipping will happen. Okay, and as in the clipping case, the value of the capacitor actually doesn't matter. Okay, you can use any value of capacitance. In real life, if you did lab experiments, we would be able to show you that the value of capacitance just tells us that how fast the signal will rise or the signal will fall. But the amount of shifting actually does not depend on the value of the capacitor. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. So first of all, since we will do the clamping portion first, if the signal, since the diode is pointing downwards, so the signal will go downwards. Okay, the signal will go downwards, and since the signal will go downwards, the positive clip, the upper peak of the signal will shift to the new voltage. Okay, so the upper peak is at 5 volt. Now the upper peak will come to, sorry, the upper peak of the input is at 10 volt. The upper peak of the output after the first stage, after the clamping stage, will come to 5 volt. Okay, simple enough. All right, so the upper peak is now at 5 volt. I'm just drawing the output of the clamper. Okay, I mean the output at this point, not at this point, not the total output. I'm just drawing the output of the first stage. Okay, so the output of the first stage, the upper peak will be at 5 volt, the lower peak will be at, can you guess? Well, the peak to peak distance is 20, so the lower peak will be at 5 minus 20, or it will be at minus 15 volt. Okay, now this clamped signal will pass to the clipper circuit. What does the clipper circuit say? For the clipper circuit, the diode is pointing upwards and the voltage is 2 volt. What does this mean? That means that all voltages above 2 volt will be allowed to pass. All right, so what is the 2 volt level? Well, suppose this is the 2 volt level. Okay, this is the 2 volt level. Yeah, okay, so all voltages above 2 volt will pass and all voltages below 2 volt will be clipped. So what are the voltages above 2 volt? Okay, so I am drawing the final output, the output after the clipper. Okay, this output, I am drawing this output in red. Okay, so these are the voltages above 2 volt. These will pass to the output as they are, no problem, and all voltages below 2 volt will be clipped. Okay, yeah. So this red graph, this is our final output, the output after the clipper and the clamper. The yellow graph was just the output of the clamper. The yellow graph was being fed into the clipper, and the red graph is the output of the clipper. Okay, so in this way you can clip and clamp circuits, different circuits together. You can put the clipper first and the clamper later. You can cascade a clamper and a positive clipper and then negative clipper and all that. Okay, the thing to remember is that you just need to follow the direction of the diode. For a clamper circuit, if the diode is pointing downwards, then the signal will shift downwards. Okay, and the peak will come to the new voltage. If you are shifting downwards, then the upper peak will come to the new voltage, and if you are shifting upwards, the lower peak will come to the new voltage. And for a clamper, similarly, if the diode is pointing upwards, then all voltages above the given voltage will pass. If the diode is pointing downwards, all voltages below the given voltage will pass. Okay, so that was our review of clipper and clamper, and this officially marks the end of your diode section of the syllabus. Okay, so I'm going to make a supplementary video that will explain how clamper circuits work. That is not compulsory, but if you're curious enough, you can watch that video, I guess. So thank you for being with me and watching this video. Hopefully I will see you in the supplementary video. Okay, bye bye.